Visiting a big city like New Orleans can be intense at times. That's why you have to set time aside to relax and take a breather. To escape the urban pace and rejuvenate in an oasis of greenery, nothing beats a visit to New Orleans Botanical Garden. Located north of the French Quarter, it's a place where nature lovers can be surrounded by a superb collection of more than 2,000 varieties of plants. The Botanical Garden has a unique story because it has its roots in the Great Depression of 1929. In the years following the economic crisis, in order to combat unemployment and stimulate the economy, the government launched a wave of major projects that were unprecedented in American history. The Botanical Garden benefited from this policy by being completely renovated. Its fairways are drawn in a stylized design typical of the era. There are several theme gardens with many varieties of plants. The garden has a large number of Virginia oak, a variety that grows only in the southern United States. This tree is used in the manufacturing of boat hulls, but is unusable in woodworking because it tends to twist. Plants that can be found here come mostly from Louisiana, but there are also many exotic specimens. Two buildings are located on the central axis of the Botanical Garden. The Pavilion of the Two Sisters is built along the lines of a traditional European orangery. It can accommodate several hundred people and is mostly used for receptions or during concerts in the park. The Conservatory of the Two Sisters is the most remarkable building in the Botanical Garden with its magnificent glass dome. It houses an extraordinary collection of tropical plants. The flute player in the middle of the fountain is one of the many Art Deco sculptures scattered throughout the park. It's the work of Enrique Alvarez, a local artist whose creations can be seen in many parts of New Orleans. New Orleans Botanical Gardens were severely damaged by Hurricane Katrina in 2005. Trees were uprooted by the winds and remained flooded under more than 1 meter or about 3 feet of water for 2 weeks. Thanks to many volunteers and donations that poured in from around the world, the garden opened its doors again 6 months later. Following the peaceful rhythm of the Botanical Garden, let's now move on to another green space in the center of New Orleans, the Audubon Zoo. This zoo has been in operation since the 1884 World Expo held in Audubon Park on the banks of the Mississippi. Since its opening, it's experienced several waves of renovation and modernization before offering the face it has today. The zoo allows visitors to spend some quality time with animals in a beautiful urban oasis of 23 hectares, or over 55 acres. Several habitats have been recreated here. The best known is undoubtedly the one that takes visitors deep into the swamps of Louisiana. This section of the zoo has received numerous international awards. Its main tenants are alligators. They've been long hunted for their succulent meat and tough skin that can be used to make shoes, handbags, or fashion accessories. In the early 20th century, hunting was so intense that the species was on the brink of extinction, but thanks to the efforts of the administration of Louisiana, the state now has an estimated population of nearly 1.5 million gators. The white alligators make the biggest statement and bring international attention to the New Orleans Zoo. The few living specimens in this pavilion are some of the rarest animals in the entire world. These are not albino alligators. Their white pigmentation is due to a genetic accident known as leucism. The Jaguar Jungle Trail is one of the themed tours of the zoo. After the swamps of Louisiana, a trip to the tropical jungles of South America awaits visitors. In a backdrop that recreates the ruins of Mayan civilization, one can observe all the inhabitants of the forest: monkeys, parrots, anteaters, as well as the sacred animal of the Mayans, the jaguar. The Audubon Zoo is part of the Audubon Institute, which offers a wide range of activities focused on the discovery of nature and is ideal for families visiting New Orleans.